guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Berlin. I do a variety of videos, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So on today's video, we're going to be discussing RN versus LVN and which path is right for you. Maybe you've been considering or wanting to become a nurse and you're just not sure which path is going to be right for you. Maybe you're hearing different perspective from different people and you just struggling with, should I be an LVN? Should I be an RN? Where do I get into the field? This video, we're going to go ahead and sit down and discuss RN versus LVN. Okay, so if this is something that you're interested about, please stay tuned. But don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and of course you guys like my video for more content. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Okay, and I had to take a lot of notes about this, so you're gonna see me looking at my phone because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys again the best information. So the first thing I want to discuss is education and the time commitment that you are going to have for either one of these programs. So an LVN program can be anywhere from 12 months to 18 months to even 2 years. It just depends on the program and the duration in classes, how many classes you have to take, etc. LVN programs are offered at community college and technical schools. Some are offered online, and once you're finished with that, you're able to go ahead and sit for your NCLEX. So when it comes to your LVN program, 12, 18, sometimes 24 months, community college, technical school, online, NCLEX. If you are considering going the RN route, that would take you anywhere from 2 to 4 years depending on the program that you choose. If you're going to go ahead and do the ADN route, you can do that in 2 years, and those are often found in community colleges. But if you're going to go ahead and do the BSN route, those are 4 years program, and those are normally offered at universities. Once you finish with your program, you do have to take the NCLEX. Whether or not you were an LVN before, you would have to take the NCLEX again because there is a difference between the LVN NCLEX and the RN NCLEX. So LVN program, education and time, those are offered at community college, tech schools, some online, 12, 18. Rarely you'll find 24 months. You do that. Once you're done, you go ahead and you take your NCLEX. For the RN route, it varies between 2 and 4 years. For 2 years, you get your ADN. Those are offered at community colleges. And then if you want to take your BSN or get your BSN, I would say, that is normally offered at a 4-year program at a university. Once you finish, you take your NCLEX as well. The next thing I want to talk about is scope of practice. LVNs are able to practice under a RN or a doctor. They provide basic patient care, like taking vitals, passing medication, monitoring patients, assisting with daily living activities, basic things like that. When it comes to their work settings, LVNs are normally found in nursing homes, but they're not only in nursing homes, okay? A lot of people tend to go into nursing homes because nursing homes pay LVNs and LPNs more. But LVNs are able to work in hospitals, we're able to work in clinics, we're able to work in outpatient, we're able to work in schools, corrections, the list goes on. So when it comes to the work setting, we are allowed to work pretty much everywhere. When it comes to the scope of practice for an RN, they have a wider range of, I would say, like responsibilities. They're able to create care plans, perform more like complex procedures. They're able to go ahead and push IV meds. They're able to handle more critical situations and critical patients. RNs are also able to work, I would say, like alone. They don't really need another nurse on top of them to work. Like an LVN have to work under an RN could just work. RN could be the only nurse in the building, and that will be totally acceptable, okay? Some of the common tasks that they do, they assess patients, they manage care, they're charge nurses, and LVNs can be charge nurses too, but you know, RN will always or more than likely be considered before a LVN. And again, they perform more critical care than a LVN. So if you were in a hospital setting and there were 8 patients, the LVN would get the least critical patients and the RN would get the critical patients. When it comes to the work settings, RNs are able to work in hospital, ICU, ER, same like LVNs. We all work together. Again, it just is the level of nursing that is being done at that facility kind of varies between the LVN and the RN. So when it comes to what we do, LVNs are more basic and more, I would say, like stable patients and stable cases versus the RNs who are a little bit more in depth with what they do and they handle more critical situations. Third, let's talk about salaries, right? Because everybody always talks about like how much does a LVN make? Is it worth being an LVN? RNs make all this big money. So let's talk about it. So the average salary for LVNs in most states is anywhere between $50,000 to $65,000, and that is a brand new LVN, right? And so once you work your way up, you are able to make a lot more money than that. But in most states, the average range for an LVN is anywhere between $50,000 and $65,000. Now I can tell you from my personal experience that I have been on the higher end of that or even more when it comes to what I've been working for, and I've also been offered on the lower end of that pay scale for being an LVN. It just varies on, you know, what you're looking for, what you're willing to accept. Most LVNs, like I stated earlier, they do get paid a lot more in nursing home and home health settings. So you'll find LVNs making real good money in a nursing home, real good money in home health, because they're typically not gonna hire a RN to do that. These patients or residents are considered stable, and so you don't need a RN to step in to do the basic patient care. So you'll find LVNs are more hired for those positions, and they are offered a bigger pay when it comes to taking on those roles. Now let's discuss the RN salary. An average salary for an RN is anywhere between $75,000 to $110,000, and that is average. So a brand new RN could be offered, you know, on the lower scale of that, and as you advance more in your career, an RN can make on the higher scale of that or even more. Now, just like I said about LVNs, it varies. There is RNs that right out of school, right after passing their NCLEX, they're able to make a lot more than that 75. It just depends on where they go to work. So keep in mind that when it comes to LVNs and RNs, yes, the average pay might be what you see online, but everybody's situation is different. But yes, typically in every field, RNs make a good amount of money over the LVNs. Also, RNs are often placed in situations or positions where they have more room for growth, opportunity to transfer from like bedside to leadership. If you do have a BSN degree, you are able to really sit in those leadership roles, care management roles. Not saying that RNs and LVNs cannot do it, but with that BSN license, that BSN degree, you are placed in more of an advantage than somebody that has a LVN license or an ADN license. So when it comes to RNs, you want to take into consideration ADN, and BSN, depending on where you want to fall on the team. I would say, do you just want to do bedside? Do you want to do a little bit of leadership? Do you want to go into management? Those are things to take into consideration. And always remember, you can move up once you get your foot in the door. On an overall perspective, when it comes to job outlooks, LVNs and RNs are both in high demand, right? If you know anything about healthcare, we are short-staffed everywhere. We are short-staffed with LVNs, we are short-staffed with RNs, we are short-staffed with BSN nurses. So all of this, it makes no sense to become an LVN because you won't find work. LVNs are being phased out. That is not true, okay? LVNs are still very much in high demand. Nurses that have an ADN is still in very much high demand, and of course BSN nurses are in high demand. So when you want to look at the overall job outlook on, okay, well, should I become an RN over at LVN because they're not hiring LVNs anymore? That is not true. Should I get my BSN over getting my ADN because they don't need ADN nurses anymore? That is not true. All levels of nursing is in high demand right now. But I do want you to keep in mind that for certain levels of nursing, they do only want to hire RNs. Maybe in like an ICU, they only want to hire, you know, a RN, or certain ERs only want to take on a RN. So just keep in mind that if your long-term goal is to work in more of a critical field, that you want to just research, is that specific field hiring LVNs or ADNs or BSN nurses, okay? But again, they're all in high demand, so don't get discouraged to say, well, I'm not going to do one over the next because there's no jobs. That's not true. Fourth, let's talk about career growth and advancements. Let's start off with LVNs. LVNs can always do a bridge program where they can go from LVN to RN within like a year or 2 years. So some schools offer a 1-year program where if you've already been at LVN, you just have to take the additional classes to go ahead and graduate from RN school and become an LVN. Some schools, the program is 18 months. Very rare I've heard that the schools are 2 years, because then if it's 2 years, might as well you just go through a regular RN program. But as an LVN, you can always bridge, and there is no time frame on when you can bridge. Well, maybe you may have to be at LVN for like 1 year. I think that may be it. I know somebody who started taking her RN classes or prereqs for the bridge program before she was a year of being at LVN. So it all depends on what school you go into. But as a LVN, there is room for growth. You can go ahead and take that bridge program and go from LVN to RN in a year. As a RN who holds an ADN degree, you can always go from RN to BSN or RN, BSN, MSN. So there is a lot of room for growth for both LVNs and RNs in the nursing field. It just depends on which one you feel is best for you. If you really just trying to get into nursing, the quickest way, the fastest route, LVN is the faster route to get into the field. If you are trying to get into the nursing field and your goal is higher pay, then the RN entry route is probably what's best for you. So LVN, quicker into the field, less education time, you are able to go into the field and work. If you are considering higher pay into the field, you want to take the RN route. So that's kind of where that is. But you can always move from one to the next to the next to the next once you actually get into the field. So now after all of this information, the question is, which path is right for you, right? Based off of everything we talked about, the difference between what's an LVN, a RN, the education time, scope of practice, the pay, you know, room for growth and advancement. which path is right for you. And overall, I would say you're trying to get in quicker, you more want to focus on bedside nursing, you don't really know if nursing is right for you, but you want to give it a try, or you're interested in nursing but you ain't really sure if like this is it, you prefer working with home health patients or nursing care or like clinics, then a LVN route might be best for you, right? Because you're trying to get in, you're trying to get in fast, you want to be a nurse but you ain't too sure, you know, or you don't have time to wait the 2 and 4 years to get into it, then the LVN route might be best for you to start with. But if you have the time and you're looking for more of an opportunity to get into the nursing field, you want to give yourself a start where room for growth is already there for you, you want to have more job opportunity and job security, then maybe going the RN route might be best for you. If you know like nursing home and home health is not for you and your goal is like to work in a hospital and ER, maybe you're trying to get into ICU, urgent care, emergency room, something that is a little more critical, then the RN route again might be what's best for you. It all depends on what you want to do. It all depends on the path that you feel is best for you. I've shared with you guys my story on why I decided to go the LVN route. I've shared with you guys if I regretted it, which I do not. I picked the path that was best for me. And also keep in mind that RN school more expensive than LVN school, okay? I didn't talk about that in the beginning, but that RN school is more expensive than LVN school. Let's not forget that. I just want to put that out there. But again, choose what path is best for you, okay? Take everything into consideration, the different factors, do your own research, find out, you know, where you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years as a nurse and build from that. This brings us to the end of my RN versus LVN video. Don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and of course you guys like my video for more content. Comment below and let me know if this video might have helped you figure out which direction might be best for you. Comment below if you have any additional questions for me. Comment below if you just want to let me know that you enjoyed this video. I am really interested in helping you guys out when it comes to figuring out your way in the nursing world. So don't forget to comment below. See you guys in the next one. Bye.